the good thing with our system is, like, you know, I've worked with other software and, like, you know, they say, oh, you know, give us $2,000 a month, we'll find you 1,200 leads and we'll book in so many appointments, and they sort of run it all for you. And I sort of thought, well, no one really knows their business better than themselves. So I thought, well, what if we can sort of give it the opportunity that people, you know, get their own version of software and they can run it, because no one knows their business better than themselves. So this is our homepage, which you've probably seen. And once you click login, all you do is you just simply put in your business name, you put in your URL, you talk about what you put in, what you sell, what it does, any sort of personality stuff. It'll crawl your site. And on top of that, if you want to add anything else in, it's super easy. You can, you know, say, don't crawl my privacy pages, just crawl the sort of front-facing marketing pages. You can put in any text, Q&A, or PDFs to train the AI. Based on that, it will come up with an ICP, or ideal client profile. So based on my business, it knows I work in the marketing and sales space. So it's telling me what sort of departments I should reach out to, the kind of titles I should focus on, the top industry verticals, and company sizes. So with the click of a button, you can search under all those parameters. So it does a lot of the heavy lifting for you if you want to, like, make it super simple. And then the search is really easy. It's either a people search, and that we use 15 live sources of data. So we're looking at LinkedIn, company websites, TikTok, Instagram, Google. So if you want to find someone who, you know, not just like look for a CEO or a sales director, if you want to find someone who's a black belt in karate in Miami, or someone who's into gardening in Perth, the system will find that. Company search, again, you can look for like a chiropractor, or you can say, look, I want to look at, you know, Joe's Plumbing in Footscray or whatever. You can get very hyper targeted, both in terms of name and location, or you can go Australia wide. And then the domain search is where you say Forbes.com or Sydney Morning Herald Sun. You can put in that and it'll list who's who in that company and their position and their contact details. And the final one is the influencer search. So looking at people on Instagram or TikTok, YouTube, we can find them and look at their follower gatherings, and syndicate our message out that way to people with larger audiences. So does anyone want to volunteer right now in terms of who would be ideal customer? Because I'm happy to kind of run the tools. Otherwise, I can quickly show you a saved list if you prefer.
I think I've got it. You go. Sorry.
No, you go, Tim. It's all right.
No. I did it yesterday. I was just jumping in. It's okay. You go. Yeah.
I was just gonna say I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just put I don't know, mortgage brokers in west of Melbourne or Melbourne.
Yeah, cool. All right. So maybe do like a company search then.
Yeah.
Mortgage.
I'm just going to duck away and grab a pen. I'm not going away.
Yeah, no worries. West Melbourne. There we go, West Melbourne. And then I'll just put that, I'll create a new list just for this, and we'll say mortgage broker. So it'd be good if I could type West Melbourne. Demo. I'm just going to put demo. So I'll just click continue. So it takes about 15 to 20 seconds because it is crawling 15 live sources of data. So that's not unusual, and it might be slightly slow because I'm running this presentation live too. So here we can see like a whole lot of list. Does this look anything? What I'll do is I'll go to this. So here you can see at the top with it's got the Google data coming in. So it's sort of mapped out where all these businesses are. And then, you know, if you say, look, that looks good, but I want to find something else, you can click here and you can move the dot and say, all right, let's look over towards Kew or Hawthorne. You can drop a pin so that it's that simple if you wanted to spread out the geographical region as well. What I'll do to get the enriched list so you can see more information, because this just gives that nascent information and the name, that's the Google rating, and then the URL and things like that. So I'll go to the lists just so you can get a better feel for. So now this is where the system gets quite powerful, because with a click of a button, we can get into each of their business URLs. Here's their physical location. This one has 7 employees, 5-star Google review with 501 Google reviews. So that's really good. That's we can see their Facebook and Instagram. We can click straight through to that. And we'll just see if we can see their emails here. So there you go. Edward Mortgage Broker. So we've got all their emails, first name, last name, and their position within the company. And then it's very hard to get mobile phone numbers because we all get spam, let's face it. I get like multiple calls for like solar panels and stuff like that, government rebates. But yeah, we can usually get the company numbers, which is good. And this is also where it gets really cool. And this is where I showed you at the start how you plug in your URL and it crawls your site. So it starts to know about who you are, and then it'll look at them. And this is where it can get really cool. So the ICP suggestion, if you say, look, this looks like a good result, with a click of a button, you can suggest similar ones. Here, competitors would be similar in that geographical region, and similar would be people more broadly, not in their geographical region, but in the same space. And suppliers would be people in that same industry vertical. But what's really cool is if you wanted to generate an intro, I'll just click that. Let's just do company email intro. So it uses 1 credit. And this is where it looks at your site, what it knows about you. It'll look at this business and it can generate an auto-populated message. But here we go. Dive into your business, mortgage broker in Melbourne. It's evident your dedication to providing competitive rates, expert advice, and hassle-free service since 1999. So it's done its research, makes it hyper-personalised. So I'm just going to let someone in the call. Just bear with me 1 sec. Cool. Yeah, so can you guys read that? So it's saying with the advent of AI technology, our software provides a system that effortlessly allows you to find, connect with potential clients. So if this was running for your business, it would understand who you are, the context of your business, and then make that hyper-personalized sort of link. And you can do that at scale. That's where the system gets really powerful. When you pair it up with a CRM, you can be sending out 20, 40, 80 or 100 emails that go out to a person. All these prompts are totally customizable too. We give you the sort of templated ones so it works out of the box, but it's so easy just to jump into like the AI assistant, and we can tweak the prompts to make it more on par and in your brand voice and stuff. But that's where it gets really clever, because when someone gets, email, it says, "Hi, David Smith, I know you've been working at XYZ real estate for the last 15 years in Parramatta, in these industry verticals. Here at Acme Insurance, we specialise in commercial or home insurance, and this is what we do and this is how we do it." That's the thing that really opens doors. And it also gets around the spam filters, because Microsoft and Google are increasingly aware of when hundreds of messages go out, they're exactly the same, they quickly get blacklisted or blocked. That when every individual email goes out with a slightly different message, it looks like a real human, it gets around that too. So it has a double kind of effect of being really powerful in that sort of field, if that makes sense.
So those emails were already customizable as well in terms of, I know you said at the beginning you can set tone and that, but a 3-paragraph intro email might be a little bit wordy. You can actually train that to come down to keep it short and sharp.
Yes, absolutely. No, it's a great question and great point. So 100%, yeah, you can say, make it only 100 words. And, what I do with my own emails is I'll have like some sections of an email kind of preset, kind of what I want to say about my business. And I'll say, this is what we found about your business, or this is, how we can work with you. And it'll put in the AI. So I use the best of what I call hybrid AI. So it's using human and AI intelligence to be able to give a really good sort of email that kind of opens doors and pikes people's interest.
Yeah. Okay. Top.
Yeah. So yeah, no, great question. Hi, Matt, if you're still here, I just saw he joined recently. We're just going through a demo of the software. So I'll go back to like the searches. So yeah, as I said, we've got our people search, company search, domain search, and influencer search. In the spirit of time, because it takes a little bit of time to draw that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just jump into one or two save lists just to give you a bit more of a flavor of what we can do. So we've looked at what's called the company search. If I look at, say, a property buyer, we'll look at influencers. This is the influencer search. Just say we like the look of Amy. At a click of a button, we can jump in and have a look at Amy's LinkedIn profile there. There's nothing special about that. Any sort of system can do it. But what gets really clever is if you click this button and click enrich, up comes, I've already enriched this just for speed, but up comes this little icon, and then suddenly we get a huge amount of data. So we can see she's got 7.4 thousand followers, 13% fake followers. That's pretty normal. Actually, that's quite low. She's average of 133 likes, 6 comments, 657 posts. Here's all the hashtags. So buyers agent Australia, buyers advocate Melbourne. Here's their mentions, some of their posts, the credibility. We've got all the interests there, brand affinity. We can see the age ranges. So all this demographic data, the greatest amount of people is, 44% are in that 25 to 34-year-old category. So if you're sort of targeting these sorts of people, and you could get your message out to her and she can syndicate that out to her audience, gives you massive amplification. And then we can see all her influential followers. So Ryan here has, over 500,000 followers. Tony Lodge has also over 500,000. So it's really powerful. And then again, you can see the age ranges, the countries. She's predominantly Australia, a little bit in the United States. These are the cities. So she's Melbourne based, obviously. And then she's got a 75% female skew and predominantly English. So that's really cool. Does that look interesting to anyone? Or
Yes, I've got a couple of questions on that if I can. So firstly, enriched data, that is sort of the grail at the moment that a lot of organizations are going for. So does this all sync once you've, I guess, paid your credits or whatever in the platform here? Can you sync that into your CRM?
Yes, absolutely. You can sync it into your CRM. And the other thing is, I didn't show you straight off the bat, but again, we can use the AI to sort of do a direct message. So I'll just click on that. So, and again, this is totally customizable. Hey, Amy Lenardi, hope this message finds you well. Someone involved in the development of our project known as NeuralNet Chat. Believe there can be some excellent synergies between us. Our chatbot has potent capabilities, can help streamline customer service, include improve client engagement and property. Imagine a bot that can answer a wide range of things. So you get the gist. I won't read the whole thing, but again, that could be used to sort of automate outreach to people who have huge followers. I talked to a PR company about a month ago, and when I showed them this, they were just blown away. They're like, "This is so good. This is exactly what we need to sort of amplify our message." Influencer stuff may not be the right recipe for every sort of business, but it's something a little bit unique to what we do, and just another thing you can do as well.
So with, I guess my second question on that is, how refined can you sort of look at the different data points regarding an influencer? So for example, if you've got an influencer that is has got a strong sort of developer network, and you're specifically wanting to find influencers that happen to have a high following in Postgres, as an example, can you actually customize it down to that particular sort of insight? Like, so you're only really picking out, or you can see any influencers that have Postgres developer followers or sizable ones globally. Like, can you get really specific and narrow with your influencer filters?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll just jump into influencer filter. So we always design. So as I said, you've got Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube are the 3 sort of channels we go after. So you can type in hashtags. You can type in, look, I'm looking for a music lover in Melbourne or whatever. You can get into your follower stuff. You don't have to fill this in, but all this stuff is available. You can choose gender, partners, categories, how often they post, what sort of account type. So you can certainly filter to people who have audiences that are above a certain limit. You can search for their specific username if you know it. So you can go broader, you can go quite deep and really filtered and stuff. But yeah, there's all those sorts of parameters there where you can certainly drill down to sort of find people who have those larger followings or in a particular kind of niche.
So you can, sorry, I didn't see it. Is up the top, was there a filter specifically for, so you'd use the hashtag to get into really specifics then?
Yes,
Okay.
I would. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other thing I'll just quickly show you with the search, because we went into like company search, and I'll just show you people search. Just say you're looking for a CEO. Let's say Melbourne, Victoria. Sorry. I won't go into this too much, but the main interface is super simple, and you can just click continue, and so that keeps it simple. But if you say wanted to find someone in a particular category or something, this is where you click the advanced filters, and again you can look at job titles. So we'd go like CEO, and so now you can find CEO and founder, chairman and CEO, co-founder and CEO. So you can find all those sub ones. You can limit it to C-level or founder and owner. You can look at like when they change jobs. So there's all those sorts of parameters. The other thing that's really cool too, because often we're all using LinkedIn, and you click on someone's profile, there may only be like, nascent information about it. And that's where if you've got an email or a social link, like you can drop in their LinkedIn, and that will enrich that data. So you'll find the actual company address, or you might be able to get their phone number or other bits of it. We've got 15 live sources of data. So that's where it gets really powerful, because often LinkedIn on its own hasn't got a whole lot of stuff. But when we've got those 15 live sources of data, you can really get a three-dimensional view of a person, or enrich, a lead that you might be trying to chase down, a prospect. Ooh. Right, so does that all make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to jump back into the presentation because I know we're nearly at the half-hour mark. Where are we? So come back here. So I said, yeah, just one sec. Boom, 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 boom. So now I'm going to jump ahead. So just a bit about me. I used to work in the world of big advertising agencies. I work with big brands, big budgets, big strategy decks, and often big bureaucracy. And there's endless layers of approvals and meetings about meetings, and we spend months crafting campaigns, and then we'd cross our fingers and hope it worked. And there was an old saying in advertising when I started about 20 years ago that, half of it works, half of it doesn't. We don't really know which half worked and which didn't. And it all seems kind of funny until you think, well, hang on, we're spending, hundreds of thousands of dollars to guess with other people's money. Even in the digital marketing world, we did dashboards and stuff. Often it's like trying to decipher UTM tags, Google pixels, Facebook pixels, dwell times, click-throughs can all get a bit overwhelming. And worst of all, a lot of it I learned was kind of useless to people who need it most, consultants, financial advisors, solopreneurs, business agents and recruiters. We're all just trying to grow their business without burning cash on SEO, social media managers, or LinkedIn gurus that promise the world and then deliver an atlas. And then, as you know, along came AI. I finally thought, well, here's a game changer. But what most people are using it for, they're sort of writing cute emails, tweaking LinkedIn bios. Even massive tech firms I work with, like quite recently, were just using AI just to auto-populate a subject line in an email, or just do nascent sort of stuff. And I thought, that's crazy. They've got these global blue chip companies, and yet they're not doing very much with AI. So that's when I thought, hang on, there's got to be more here, because AI is evolving every day. And I suddenly thought, what if you could, rather than tinkering with ChatGPT and stuff like that, you could actually get it working in your business like a virtual business development manager, booking meetings, handling outreach and qualifying leads while you sleep. So I started testing and building and connecting the dots, and I experimented with ChatGPT, real-time data, CRMs, smart automations, and also looking at those time-tested psychological marketing drivers that I've been exposed to. And then it happened. Like, honestly, one day I went to a networking meeting in February on a Friday afternoon. I came back a couple of hours later, and there was 4 appointments already booked in my calendar. No cold calling, no ads, no chasing, just AI doing the heavy lifting. And it's like, wow, this really works. And I thought, if I can make this simple enough for anyone to use, that could change everything. So I built it. And it wasn't just for like, Fortune 500 companies. It's for you guys who are the doers, the business owners who are really trying to grow and are done wasting time.
And how were your leads? Were they good?
They're good. Yeah. Yeah. That's the important thing, isn't it? It's like, people can get like big lists of, leads and stuff, but some of it's spammy, it's outdated. And that's where, the quantum leads tool that I've just shown you, use that AI research. It's using 15 live sources of data. And you've got those multiple search parameters with people, company, influencer, and domain searches, plus a myriad of those other filters I showed you where you can really get granular about who you want to chase. No, some people have a belief that, AI is too complicated and I'm not, technical. And, one of our smaller clients, a 57-year-old financial advisor, called me a while ago and she was concerned. She said, I don't know how to use all this tech. I'm not a digital native. And even though we have good onboarding processes with a lot of little self-paced videos, I just set up a Zoom. I walked her through everything. And within a week, she was getting her daily leads and she's going, this is cool. It's like my robot BDM. She realized you don't need to be technical. You just need the right systems that work for you, not the other way around. So yeah, as I said, Leads tool provides that sort of hyper-personalized, accurate targeting, use up-to-date insights with live data sources and not outdated lists. And it provides those massive time savings because you can find all those people. Once you dial in like the ideal sort of prospect, we can set up what's called an autopilot campaign going out to 20 or 40 or 80 sort of new leads every single day. And you can use that personalization that can just be dropping them in the top of your funnel and doing those personalized emails that kind of really speak to every individual rather than a boilerplate message that's spammy and easily ignored. One of my clients, actually a guy called James who works in real estate, said, mate, I'm slammed. I have too many listings and inspections and I don't have time for new tools. So I just said to him, look, how much time are you spending each week chasing cold leads? And he said, probably about 10 to 15 hours a week. So I said, well, what if we could give you that time back? And a week later, he's like, mate, I've got 5 new appointments booked in without having to do anything. So he didn't need more time. He just needed the sort of leverage that you get from these sort of systems that kind of really work for you. For customers who want the full automation, because we've got our leads tool that can just find those prospects, but we've got like what we call our NeuralNet Nexus 4-bot system. And that one, is a 4-bot system where the leads tool finds it. We've got conversational bots that can manage all that outreach across email, SMS, social, all that sort of stuff to get them to know, like, and trust you. And then the sales bot, and I should demo that to you. I forgot to show the voice bot is quite incredible how it works actually. And that can handle like objection handling and booking in appointments and stuff. And then there's onboarding upsell bot, which supports the onboarding and identifies upsells via dashboards and data. I'm going to show you the voice bot now. I can quickly show you guys.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So what I'll do is you can do this too. It's just on to click request a call back. I'll just put in my details here. I'll put in my phone number. So you just put in your website and then do request a call back. And what will happen now is it's sitting there crawling the website. It'll start looking at who I am or what I do or what you guys do, and they'll give you a call back. I'll quickly, once she calls, I'll put it on speaker so you can have a quick listen. Here we go. So it's this row.
Hello, Rory. I am Kylie, the AI sales manager calling from NeuralNet Leads. I've seen you engage on our website to help find your next sales and prospects. Do you have a couple of minutes to see if we can help you nail those sales targets?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Great. Just to let you know, this call will be recorded for quality and training purposes. Is that okay with you?
Yes. Hello.
No worries. Take your time.
Yes, that's
When you're
fine.
ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. She's tripping up. She hasn't done this before.
The
Hello.
demo gods, they always hit you.
Always does it.
It's always when you're alive, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
It does really work, I
know.
promise.
Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. It does work. I'll get
I
you
got
guys
you.
to.
Yeah.
It does really work. It's quite incredible how she answers calls and stuff. You just seem to. I don't know what happened. Got a bit of interference there, or maybe got stage fright. Anyway, we'll move on. All good. Yeah, so a 4-bot system can automate your workflow, improve that lead quality, and provide that higher sales efficiency, and let you compete with companies with much larger teams. So it gives you that scalability, both in terms of volume as well as breaking down geographical limitations. And I know, like, there is sometimes that reticence in Australia with AI, and people think, oh, does it really work? Was it a hype? But as you've seen on that demo before, we can find prospects from live public data. We can qualify them in real time. We can generate those personalized messages, and then we can send emails and direct messages, and then we can track the replies and get the calendar bookings all happening automatically. It's funny, I actually had a competitor troll me a couple of months ago, sort of saying, oh, that my AI sucks. I think he just jumped on and typed 1 or 2 prompts into the chatbot on the site. So I thought, all right, I'm going to test it out. So I tested it out against his system, and he uses live agents. I think they're based out of the Philippines. But I can tell you the AI one, hands down, his team was so slow replying each time. I can categorically say he's probably burning at least 75% of his leads because they're so slow to respond. People just drop off, but I'm not going to tell him that. But with our software, you get more leads, faster replies, and no salary. So it really comes down to you can scale an autopilot, you save that time and increase revenue. So, how are you guys finding leads right now? Does anyone want to volunteer?
It's because I guess where my stage is in my business is it's early on, so we're actually building more awareness out there. So it's educating not just about us existing, but actually what we're selling. So we're actually having to do quite a bit of education. So it is probably more sort of scale marketing, reach outs. Yes, there's lead lists. Yes, we've got ICPs and persona analysis, and we're targeting particular people. We're even using some AI to help push that along.
Yeah,
but it is still quite traditional, right? And that you still need a body that's sitting over it, designing it, analyzing it, changing it, working through what those shifts are. And that's not something I have the capacity to do. I started out doing it myself and very quickly found I just don't have the time in the day to do it. So I had to bring somebody on. So I can see how this all potentially ties together. It really comes down to quality of experience is probably, and the audience I'm targeting. Is it valuing, accepting, accommodating? AI-led interfaces, I suppose, is probably the biggest question in my mind, and that's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
But I can see how, effectively, I'm doing a lot of the things that I can see your 4-bot system are working through. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, if you consider what's a lead worth to you, and I don't want to ask you because it could be personal, but let's just say, for argument's sake, each lead's 5,000. You get 10 new leads a month. That's 50K. Or 600 a year. It's pretty huge. And then when you consider how much time people spend on Facebook posts, doing email, SMS, WhatsApp messages. How much is that really costing you guys annually, and how much time do you have to do this? Would it be better just to sort of pay to get this set up and have it all running on autopilot? And that's where we sort of come into the fore. The system's highly configurable. We have 4 main packages that can be customized to your specific industry. The Leads tool, flagship entry-level products, $2.99 a month. And then when we put that with a CRM to do that full automated outreach across email and SMS, you're looking at about $1,000. If you add in the chat bot that can have those contextually relevant text messages and stuff, ends up just shy of $2,000 or $3,000 for the 4-bot system that does everything, including the voice bot that does actually work. It just seems to have a bit of a stack out. But yeah, that just gives you a flavor of like where it is. But it's all fully customizable. So this isn't set in stone. This is just a sort of a guide as to roughly the level of investment. But yeah, we've got a special offer. So I appreciate you guys tuning up, and like, you know, I want to make sure you guys, you know, really see value in this. So the first thing we're offering today for everyone who signs up is our Ultimate AI Business Toolkit, valued at $299. And that gives you, you know, BS guide to the best AI apps on the market. There's about 220 in there. Productivity, automation, marketing, operations. Many of them are free, but all of them are so powerful, because I'm on like multiple email lists. I get daily updates on all the latest tech and AI sort of apps coming through, and I've been collating them. So that's a really cool thing. And then we also got this lifetime subscription. So rather than paying that $299 every single month for the Leads tool, today you can get it for $297 one time, no ongoing fees. So you've got lifetime value that's valued at like, you know, $10,700. That's across a average 3-year tenure. Plus, you also get 1,000 free bonus credits with your sign up. So you can hit the ground running, testing it out, generating leads and booking calls with no extra spend. And then we're also throwing in like ongoing credit deals, so you can get 50% off for life. So, you know, every month, if you wanted to, you can get an extra 200 credits for $97. And they roll over for 12 months. So, you know, if you don't use them in 1 month, they're not sort of use it and lose it sort of thing. Use it or lose it. You've got the, you know, ongoing credits there. Also, you can get a 30-minute one-on-one strategy session with me, and we don't just hand it over. I'll give you a private session just to understand, you know, what you want to do, how we can implement it into your business, and make sure you hit the ground fast with tactics that move the needle immediately. We also offer 24/7 tech support and training. So there's a tech team behind all of this that will help you. So if you ever get stuck with how to do something or something considered work, you're never left in the lurch. We have a full team that looks after you. So you get the total bonus of over $14,000 worth of stuff, and you can get it all for just $297 if you want to go ahead. How's that sound, guys?
Calling me surprised. That's a special offer.
So if you're interested, you know, you can pull out your phone and either click on the blue QR code on the right, and you can just jump straight into that lifetime deal, and you get those $1,000 worth of bonus credits, the full bundle and everything we just talked about. Or you can click the white code on the left, and you can book in that one-on-one appointment to sort of discuss further about how this could work for your business. So again, you know, I guess you just got to consider what's a lead worth to you, not just a name or an email, but a real conversation. Is it 200, 500, or 1,000 or more? So imagine, you know, as I said, once you set this up, you could get 5, 10, 20 of these every single day consistently. So you don't have to pay for ads. You don't have to chase agencies or trial and error. This is where you can kind of shift it all and get that lifetime access, no recurring fees, and just lock in and get your pipeline going. So, yeah. How's that sound, guys?
It sounds good, Rory. I think we'll have a conversation in the next couple of weeks, and I'll
yeah,
put a strategy. I'm just crystallizing my offerings at the moment. So, and actually what I'm doing. So there's no point driving someone to somewhere that I'm not going to be going. So.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Perfect sense. Yeah, no. I think it's definitely, like, I've used it in my business. I can say it works. I've got other clients who vouch for the fact it works too. You know, it provides that sort of ongoing sort of low support that can just streamline things. But yeah, absolutely, Julie. You know, work out you know, what your offering is, and then we can, you know, scaffold that and make it really work for you guys.
Yeah. No, I've just finished a coaching course in human design. And the coaches, they use AI for their marketing, and that's how they're, it always baffles me how coaches can be having $10,000 months, but they use AI to pull in all their leads, which is, it's kind of strange for such a personal product, but that's what they do. So yeah, so I'm not going to do his course on how to do that. You're just going to tell me and I'll buy this.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. And the great, yeah, for sure.
All right.
Anyway, thank you, guys. I really appreciate you turning up. Do you have any final questions before we close up?
No, thanks so much, Roy. That was great.
That's great.
I
Thank
think,
you so much.
the only thing for me might be the credits. Sorry. So
Oh, yeah.
you did, I mean, your system is credit based. Most are sort of credit there.
Yep.
So that would be interesting to understand how that works.
Yeah, so it's 99 cents a credit. And with the company searches, you only use one credit for entire company. So whether you got 10 emails or 60 emails, that's one credit. For a people search, if you want to do a deep dive, it's about 3 credits. But we sort of say anecdotally, you know, one and a half sort of credits will get you a lead. You're probably looking no more than 3 or 4 credits if you want that full kind of deep dive and get the AI to generate an automated message that goes into your email or your SMS saying, you know, hey, Linton, I know you work in such and such. This is what we do. So, yeah, that's how it works. So you're looking at, you know, about $1.50 or so on average per lead.
Okay.
And then
okay, and then I mean, I guess the bit that, and we don't have to do this here now. We can get some time to have a chat. I've invested in HubSpot. I've got a bunch of other things that I'd want to tie potentially this into. I'd want to understand how that all sort of comes together because I've already made investments in certain things, right? Which I'm not going to unwind, and so the contact list bit is interesting to me. But how do you get the AI automated reach outs and that sort of stuff potentially is of interest as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need it to sort of make sense and tie into what I've got running as a process now in HubSpot that I've invested in.
For sure. No, we're all about plug and play with other systems. So great question. We can API or use webhooks to get into HubSpot. We've currently got another client who's using HubSpot as well. We're working on a native integration. So we can get all your people across automated through APIs, or you can, like, for example, if you have a saved list, let's say these mortgage brokers, with a click of a button, let's say we've got all these guys, you can just literally send them to your CRM, or you can export as a CSV with all those fields, and it will give you a row for, you know, name, phone number, even those AI things. So there's multiple ways. What we're working towards with the HubSpot one is having the native integration, which will give you that perfect mapping, so it's completely hands off. So when you want to send that message, hey, David Smith, and it'll auto-populate, that's what we're getting to. It's currently available with High Level, which is our native CRM, but absolutely we can work with HubSpot as well. And as I said, I've got a client currently using that, so it does work.
Yeah, okay. It's yeah, because we've set up a bunch of as you'd expect, sequences, nurture tracks. We've got a whole bunch of intelligence that's built in with workflows in HubSpot now.
Yep.
And so, yeah, what's going to be interesting is if you can get that native sync, how does this platform act on the to-dos with sending a personalized email based on what we can see that they've clicked, touched, looked at, what they're doing? It can bring together an AI message that's in the right tone and style, and be able to send that out rather than maybe me having to go in every day and spending an hour and a half trawling through to-dos, tasks, and browsing and all the different things you've got to do to get through, right? So that's just for the ones that don't latch on. And we know customers need, you know, multiple touches, or prospects need multiple touches. So some dive in quickly, which is great. Others take a lot more effort.
Yeah.
So that's the bit that's interesting to maybe automate. So, and I was looking at your four bot system.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably not on the voice path just yet, but even your 3 bot system and how that comes together, I guess there's different bundles as to how you could potentially use that, right?
100%. Yeah. Yeah, we can customize that.
Yeah, because it might even be that the operating system bot that you've got sort of ties into HubSpot's doing that sort of workflow anyway. So it might be more just where does it tag in and out to the conversational and the lead system.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you've got specific questions, I can send you an email and you can email back what you want, because what I'll do is I can take it out to our tech guys who can find out exactly how it would bridge with HubSpot and how it will all interface, so you have a clear understanding once you kind of set it up, you know where you're going and how it will work. And
yeah, I mean, you keep referring to lead generation as bot one. I mean, I'm looking at it as a intelligent contact database scraper, right? It's not really leads, because there you've got cold contacts you're gonna have to reach out to. Does that bot one include the first reach outs, the automated reach outs, and the whatever sequencing you want to design for reaching out to people to see if you can get them on a hook? Or is it really just, you know, is it getting those contact lists that are aligned to your ICP, and then you import that in so that you can actually do a bot 2 or a bot 3 or whatever, which is actually doing the actual emails?
that's right. Yeah, the bot one is literally just finding the prospects and can generate those AI intros, but you'll need your HubSpot or bot 2 and a CRM to kind of deploy the outreach.
Okay, and the 297 deal is just for bot 1, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And 1,000 leads.
Yeah, got it. Okay, understood.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for that. It's good to see.